Hello and welcome to RPG DIY, your channel for all things tabletop gaming. Today's video is brought to you by 1985 Games, and in that vein we're going to take a look at one of their Dungeon Craft sets, Castles and Keeps. Let's get into it. So here's the box you get, Castles and Keeps, Siege and Castle game pieces. And they are wet and dry erase compatible, which is very, very handy. And here's the back, kind of gives you a quick overview of the type of things you're going to see in here. Over 1,000 game pieces. And they're talking about every little piece in here, because it is over 1,000. A lot of their sets have the same amount. You do have to cut them out yourself, but it's definitely worth it. So let's take a look and see what's in the box. Alright, so you have here a broken tower, and on the other side is the interior of the broken tower, and as you can see they mixed it up with the troughs here and the ladders. They make them different shapes, and you get 4 of these, I believe, because the whole concept is so you can make an entire actual keep with the top wall and all 4 towers, so you have a complete set. Here you have a siege tower and an impact crater, and here's the siege tower different level, and the impact crater is still on fire. Here you have some catapults that are damaged, and you have some orcs riding boars that looks like they're bloodied. And on this side, all these are intact and they are not bloodied. So you get another one of these, but instead of the orcs, you have a cow, donkey, looks like a battering ram. So here's the roof of a building, and when you flip it over, you get the interior of the building. So you only need one piece to show 2 different sections. Same here. And this looks like a blacksmith shop, evidently. Here's a small farm with a retaining wall. And then when you flip it over, you get the interior of the farmhouse. So here's some fountains, some hay bales, some donkeys, the roof of a building, a headsman's axe, and setup, and then some stocks. When you flip it over, see, these are gold-rimmed fountains. These are stone, and the headsman's block is being used, and as well as the stocks. And there's a butcher shop inside. So here's some flaming arrows that have hit, and people captured in cages. You flip it over, no longer on fire, empty cages. Barrels on fire, stocks being used. Hauling a ballista, and now nothing's on fire. Here's part of the wall section that you can create the entire keep top of the wall. This is the drawbridge section, and you get some NPCs down here. Flip it over, you have a destroyed drawbridge, and the NPCs have changed color. That way you can use you can use the same figure, but it's different colors, so it can represent different NPCs. Another section of the wall. And this is like the Iron Gate version at ground level. Another wall section, and this time it's destroyed. You get a few of these as well. Here's a corner section destroyed. The interior of a tower and some boulders. And then here you've got intact, different level of the tower. No moss on these boulders. So, similar setup here. Another corner tower destroyed, but looks like more ballistas here. And now they're intact, not destroyed. Weapons racks. Another one. Another wall section for you. This one has some orcs on the side. So here's the interior building on fire. You flip it over and you've got the roof part that's on fire. So you can do an exterior and interior. Roof collapsed inside a building. Here's all the debris inside the building. Here's some more creatures. Armored boars. Looks like some ogres, orcs. Roof on fire. Interior on fire. The same creatures, but now they've got blood on them. Interior's on fire and collapsed. Exterior on fire and collapsed. Here's a battering ram. Hay bales on fire. Interior building collapsed. Exteriors, this is now in working order and these are not on fire. Get a couple of those. Here's some more collapsed buildings. Roofs, and then the interiors. On fire roofs. And the interior. Here's a circular tower, and here you get the floor that's on the wall, top of the wall level, where you've got some weapons and armor here, and you flip it over, and you've got the next floor up with more storage capability. And you can always add your own stuff, hence the wet and dry, or you can use vinyl clings if you have them as well. And 3D terrain, which I use quite often for the same thing. So I think you get 4 of those as well. So you can have a square tower or circular towers on the end. Oh, you get more than that. Check it out. So here is 2 halves of a large raised stone area. You just cut it right here and then they go together. And when you flip them over, you've just got 2 smaller raised areas. Here's a table. It has a meal, a couple tables of meals served on them. You flip them over and now they're kind of a war planning table. Here's some carpets. Celtic knot design. Flip it over. It's a little different design. Here's some chandeliers that have fallen and broken. Some hide beds. Tables with things on them. Green lit smaller chandeliers. Or candelabras. And then normal beds. Candelabra, chandelier, not destroyed, empty table. Here you have more, looks like empty tables here. More carpet. NPCs. Top of a bookshelf, flip it over, the carpets have changed color. Things on the tables, and the bookshelves have turned into more of a table with books on it. And here you have some thrones, mimics, broken raised sections, and then you have the mirror that the mimic comes from, and a different throne, intact sections. You get some of the same here, but you get more troughs and hay. You get a flaming forge. And here it's just the coals. Now you have some pillars, stairs, and then these can turn into one single step. These pillars are destroyed. Weapons racks, 3-way stairway section. Circular stairway and stone spiral stairway here. Gold fountains. And now it's wooden stairway, stone fountains, and carpeted stairway. Here's some more of the same with the stairways, and then cages empty and full. Here's a center stairway. Carpet, bloodied orcs, person in the stocks. And now it's a Stairway going up. Non-bloodied, nobody in the stocks. Here's another one like it. And here's some smaller pieces. Your ogres, some animals, orcs. Here you have benches, couches, tables, some armor. When you flip it over, the couches are mimics. You have the tables with things on them, and these have seat cushions, so these could be used like church pews. And the last piece in here, you've got some barrels and hay on fire, chairs, tipped over bookshelf. Now, empty bookshelf, and nobody's on fire. And the chairs go from darker wood to light wood. There you have it, Castles and Keeps. I personally really like all of the 1985 games Dungeon Craft sets, and I own them all. I highly recommend them, especially if you're going to do a lot of traveling with your gaming equipment. So I'll put a link in the description on where to get a hold of these for yourself, and if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments below. And until we meet again, may you always roll with advantage.